Do you ever get a craving for a food so strong it feels like a memory? A taste that instantly transports you back to a sunny afternoon at the ballpark, a first date at the drive-in, or a simple family road trip? I know I do. These days, it seems like we're always being told what we shouldn't eat. The lists of bad foods get longer and longer, and many of our old favorites are right at the top. But here's the thing. Those foods are part of our story. They're woven into the fabric of our lives, and there's a reason we still love them. Today, we're not going to talk about guilt. We're going to celebrate 10 of the most beloved, classic American fast foods that seniors, and let's be honest, all of us, still crave. We're going to take a trip down memory lane and find out why these simple pleasures have stood the test of time. I promise you, some of the foods on this list are going to surprise you. And as we count down from number 10 to the undisputed champion at number 1, you'll find yourself nodding along and maybe even getting a little hungry. The food that clinched our number 1 spot is an absolute icon, a taste of pure Americana that I'm willing to bet you've enjoyed dozens, if not hundreds of times in your life. Before we dive in, I'd love to know, what was your very first car and what was your go-to fast food to eat in it? For me, it was a '68 Ford Falcon and a bag of greasy French fries. Let me know yours in the comments below. It's always fun to read those. All right, grab a cup of coffee, get comfortable, and let's begin our delicious countdown. Coming in at number 10 is a breakfast classic that's as perfect on the go as it is with the Sunday paper, the bagel with cream cheese. There's a simple genius to it, isn't there? That chewy, dense texture of a good bagel combined with the cool, tangy smoothness of cream cheese. It reminds me of a fellow named Arthur, who used to work in downtown Manhattan back in the '70s. Every single morning, he'd stop at the same little corner deli for a toasted everything bagel with a schmear, as he called it. He said that bagel wasn't just breakfast. It was his 15 minutes of peace before the chaos of the trading floor began. It was a ritual. And it's a ritual with history. While bagels are a staple in New York, they actually have a much older history, likely originating in the Jewish communities of Poland in the 1600s. They didn't become wildly popular in America until the second half of the 20th century, but once they did, they became an institution. Now, the best way to enjoy one? Keep it simple. Get a fresh, high-quality bagel, sesame, everything, pumpernickel, your choice, and have it toasted, but just lightly. You want it warm, not crunchy like a cracker. Then, don't skimp on the cream cheese. A woman named Brenda I know says the wrong way is spreading it thin like butter. The right way, she taught her grandson, is to lay it on thick, so you get a perfect ratio of cool creaminess in every single chewy bite. Next up, at number 9, we have a cup of pure comfort, the mac and cheese cup. Whether it comes from a fast food joint or the grocery store, there's something about that bright orange, cheesy goodness that takes you right back to childhood. It's the ultimate feel-good food. I think of a man named George, a retired postal worker in Michigan. He said on those cold, snowy days when he just couldn't get warm, nothing did the trick like a hot cup of mac and cheese. It was, in his words, like a sweater on the inside. He didn't need anything fancy, no baked breadcrumbs or gourmet cheeses, just the simple, creamy classic. It's a classic for a reason. While the dish has been around for centuries, it was Kraft Foods that made it an American icon when they introduced their boxed dinner back in 1937, during the Great Depression. They sold 8 million boxes in the first year because it was a cheap, easy way to feed a family. A 2012 survey even found that it's considered the #1 comfort food in the country. Now, what's the secret to making that simple cup even better? A little dash of freshly ground black pepper. That's it. It cuts through the richness just enough and elevates the flavor. It's a simple trick, but it makes all the difference. All right, climbing the charts to number 8 is another breakfast hero, the egg and cheese sandwich. This is the ultimate no-fuss, get-up-and-go meal. It's warm, it's savory, and it has just the right amount of protein to get your day started. I remember my friend Susan, who was a nurse for 40 years. Her shifts started before the sun came up, and she swore by her daily egg and cheese on an English muffin from the hospital cafeteria. She said it was the one constant in her hectic mornings, a little moment of delicious normalcy she could count on. And she's not alone. While people have been putting eggs and cheese between bread for ages, the fast food breakfast sandwich really took off in the 1970s when McDonald's introduced the Egg McMuffin. The goal was to create a sort of portable, tidy version of Eggs Benedict, and boy did it work. Today, it's a multi-billion-dollar industry. For the best experience, the key is balance. You don't want a dry, overcooked egg puck. The right way is to have the egg cooked just enough so the yolk is a little jammy, not runny, and the cheese is perfectly melted, creating a delicious glue that holds it all together on a well-toasted muffin or biscuit. Simple perfection. Riding a wave of popularity into the number 7 spot is the breakfast burrito. This one might feel a bit more modern than some others on the list, but it has quickly become a beloved staple. The beauty of the breakfast burrito is that it's a full platter breakfast. Eggs, potatoes, cheese, often some sausage or bacon, all wrapped up in a convenient handheld package. My buddy Bob, after he retired, did a road trip across the country. He told me the best parts of his drive through the Southwest weren't the canyons, but the little roadside stands in New Mexico that sold breakfast burritos. He still talks about one he had from a woman named Maria outside of Santa Fe, filled with scrambled eggs, hash browns, and a spicy green chili sauce that, he said, woke up his soul. The breakfast burrito's origin story is a bit hazy, but it really gained a foothold in New Mexico cuisine in the 1970s before spreading across the country. A key statistic? A recent poll showed that nearly 70% of Americans say they enjoy breakfast burritos. The secret to a great one is all in the salsa. A bland, watery salsa can ruin the whole thing. You need one with a little kick and a lot of flavor. And here's a pro tip. Ask for it to be lightly grilled or pressed after it's wrapped. This seals the tortilla and gives the outside a fantastic, slightly crispy texture. Cracking our top half at number 6, we have the undisputed king of the carnival midway, the corn dog. There is nothing quite like it. The crunchy, slightly sweet cornbread coating giving way to a savory hot dog inside. It's a masterpiece of food engineering. It's the taste of summer fairs, festivals, and boardwalks. I picture a grandfather named Kevin taking his grandkids to the state fair for the first time. The kids are mesmerized by the rides and games, but Kevin makes a beeline for the corn dog stand. He buys one for each of them, and watching their faces as they take that first bite, a mixture of confusion and delight, is better than any prize he could have won them. The invention of the corn dog is a hotly contested piece of American folklore, with several people claiming to be the first to put a hot dog on a stick and deep fry it in corn batter sometime in the late 1930s or early 1940s. But whoever did it, we thank them. The only wrong way to eat a corn dog is without a condiment. And while ketchup is acceptable, the truly classic right way to do it is with a simple, bold stripe of yellow mustard. It's the perfect tangy counterpoint to the sweetness of the cornbread. At number 5, we have a food that solved a problem for parents and grandparents everywhere, the chicken nugget. Before nuggets, getting a kid to eat chicken could be a hassle, but shape it into a fun, bite-sized piece that's perfect for dipping? Genius. My friend Linda laughs about how her grandkids, who are the pickiest eaters on the planet, will turn their noses up at a beautiful roast chicken, but will devour a box of chicken nuggets in seconds. She says they're her secret weapon for a peaceful dinner. The chicken nugget as we know it was invented in the 1950s by a food scientist, but it was McDonald's, with the introduction of the McNugget in 1983, that turned them into a global phenomenon. They became one of the most successful menu launches in fast food history. And let's be honest, the experience isn't complete without the sauce. Whether you're a fan of barbecue, honey mustard, or sweet and sour, the dip is essential. It's what transforms a simple piece of chicken into a fun, flavorful experience. All right, things are getting serious now. At number 4 is a true heavyweight of American cuisine, the fried chicken drumstick. This isn't just fast food, it's soul food, it's picnic food, it's Sunday dinner food. There's a primal satisfaction in picking up a piece of crispy, juicy, perfectly seasoned fried chicken. Think of a classic 4th of July family reunion. A man named James is standing by the picnic table, which is covered in a red and white checkered cloth. He bypasses all the salads and grabs a golden brown drumstick. That first crunch you can hear from 10 feet away, that's the sound of summer. Fried chicken has deep roots in American history, particularly in the South, where Scottish frying techniques were combined with West African seasoning traditions by enslaved African Americans to create the dish we know and love today. It's a true culinary melting pot. Now, people will argue for hours about the best way to eat it. But here's a tip from an expert. My grandmother Mildred. The best fried chicken is often the piece you eat cold, straight from the refrigerator the next day. The flavors have had time to settle, the skin loses its greasy quality but keeps its seasoning, and it's just perfect. Try it. You'll thank me later. We're in the top 3. And taking the bronze medal at number 3 is the small but mighty cheeseburger slider. There is something irresistible about these little burgers. Maybe it's because you can eat 2 or 3 without feeling like you've overdone it. They're simple. A small beef patty, a soft bun, melted cheese, and maybe some grilled onions and a pickle. That's all you need. I think of a couple, Walter and Patricia, who had their first date at a White Castle back in 1965. For their 50th anniversary, their kids threw them a big party, but the couple snuck out for an hour to go back to that same White Castle and share a sack of sliders, just the 2 of them. Sliders are the original fast food burger. White Castle started selling their iconic little 5-cent burgers way back in 1921, decades before the big chains we know today even existed. They literally invented the model. And the key to their unique flavor? The onions. The right way to make a slider is to place the patty on a bed of chopped onions on the griddle and let it steam. The bun goes on top of the patty, soaking up all that flavor. It's a technique that has been delighting customers for over a century. The runner-up, our silver medalist at number 2, is a food that's loved around the world but feels uniquely American in its fast food form, the pizza slice. The giant, foldable grab-and-go slice is a work of art. It's a perfect meal you can eat while walking down the street. It's the go-to choice after a movie, at a kid's birthday party, or for a quick lunch. I remember a young man named Tony, whose first job was at a local pizzeria. He learned the art of the pizza fold from the old Italian man who owned the shop. He said holding that hot, cheesy, slightly greasy slice, folding it perfectly in half so the oil drips from the tip, that was a New York rite of passage. Pizza, of course, came from Italy, but it was in post-World War II America that it exploded in popularity, thanks to returning soldiers who had developed a taste for it overseas. And the statistics are staggering. Americans eat an average of 23 pounds of pizza per person every year. For the quintessential slice experience, it has to be thin crust, it has to be wider than the plate it's served on, and it has to have that perfect ratio of tangy tomato sauce to gooey, slightly browned mozzarella cheese. Pure bliss. And now, the moment you've been waiting for. The food that has been there for us at ball games, backyard barbecues, and on busy street corners for over a century. The number 1 most loved fast food for American seniors is the hot dog. It's more than just food. It's a cultural icon. The snap of the casing, the soft bun, the endless combination of toppings. The hot dog is America on a bun. Think of Stan, a lifelong baseball fan. He's been going to games since he was a boy, and for him, the experience is incomplete without a ballpark Frank. He says the smell of the grilled onions and the crack of the bat are the smells of happiness. He can't have one without the other. The hot dog's journey to America began with German immigrants in the 1800s. But it was at places like Coney Island and the 1893 Chicago World's Fair that it became an American sensation. Nathan's Famous, which started as a nickel hot dog stand in 1916, is now a global brand. The debate over the right way to top a hot dog could start a civil war. New Yorkers swear by mustard and sauerkraut. Chicagoans demand a poppy seed bun loaded with mustard, relish, chopped onions, tomato slices, a pickle spear, sport peppers, and a dash of celery salt, and absolutely no ketchup. But you know what? The real right way is however you love it most. It's your dog, your memory, your little piece of happiness. So there you have it. From the humble bagel to the iconic hot dog, 10 foods that are so much more than just a quick meal. They are touchstones to our past, vessels for our memories, and simple, delicious pleasures. These are no gimmick, honest-to-goodness classics that have earned their place in our hearts for a reason. Remember, your body and your history are your own. Life is meant to be enjoyed, and that includes the foods that bring you comfort and joy. Your taste buds deserve a trip down memory lane every once in a while. Now I have to ask, which food from our list is your absolute #1 favorite? And what's a special memory you have associated with it? Let me know in the comments section below. I truly love reading your stories. And if you enjoyed this little trip back in time and want more content made just for you, make sure you subscribe to our Seniors Daily channel and click that little notification bell so you never miss a video.